Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. This evening, I want to speak about the movie, a very good movie by, written by Nate Parker, the talented actor and director who brought us the film, The Birth of a Nation, the film about Nat Turner. He came back stronger with an even more thought-provoking film called American Skin. Nate Parker plays a character called Lincoln Jefferson, who had just returned from the military, and he got custody of his son, Kajani. And when he came home, he tried to work it out with his wife, but they just didn't work it out. It wasn't a nasty separation. They were going through some things, and to make a long story short, he ended up getting his son. Yet he wanted his son to go to a better school, or what he thought to be a better school. So he took a job at a school so his son can go to the school. He took a job as a janitor. And the first scene that you will see is the most intricate scene, the scene where he and his son is in a vehicle. He was picking his son up from a friend's house, and the police profiled them, and they pulled him over, and they asked him for his credentials. Nate Parker's character, Lincoln Jefferson, obliged, and as they were doing the police stop, the police officer on Lincoln Jefferson's side informed him that his insurance was actually expired, and asked the brother to get out the vehicle. Now, as the brother got out the vehicle, his son reached for his phone and began recording the encounter with the police. Now, the police officer on the passenger side drew his weapon, and the concerned father, Lincoln Jefferson, told his son to stop moving, keep your hands where they can see them. And the young brother kept his hands where they can be seen, and the police officer ordered the young brother out of the vehicle. Mind you, freshman in high school, 14 years old. And as he were getting out the vehicle, the race soldier told the young brother to put the phone down and stop recording, which is really unlawful. You can't tell someone to stop recording. Kept telling him, put the phone down, put the phone down. A struggle ensued, and subsequently, the young brother was shot and killed. Now, fast forward to a year later. The authorities, the oppressors, did what they always do. They come back with the conclusion that there was no wrongdoing by the race soldier. And the police officer walks, in this case, in this movie, American Skin, the police officer was returned to full duty. Now, if you go into the part in the movie where Kajani was studying over the phone with his friend, He was informing his friend that black people actually had right, not necessarily black people, but people actually had rights to fight off an attacker. It doesn't matter who it is. They can defend themselves against anyone who's attacking them, even the police. As he was explaining that to his friend, Kajani's father walks in. And though Kajani's father, Lincoln Jefferson, shared his son's sentiment, he advised his son against it. Brothers and sisters, self-defense is a right that no one can give to you and no one can take from you unless you allow them. There's a part in the movie after Kajani is shot and killed. There's a part in the movie where a black police captain was speaking to the mother, asking the mother to speak against the violence that the police initiated and started. They always try to get black clergymen, black entertainers, black police to come over to black people's homes after they are victimized by race soldiers and try to get them to quell violence that they started, that they initiated. Now, why is it when we are the victims of so much violence, we are expected to react non-violently? Why don't the rank and file, the brass, the captains, the chiefs, in a lot of these departments across America, the chiefs, the captains, the rank and file are black people? Why can't these black commanders advise, and not only advise, order their rank and file to not oppress, to not aggress us violently? These chiefs, these commanders sit idly by and allow people who they know are racist bastards to remain on departments that they are running. And they want us to believe that they are good cops. And they want us to believe that they are good cops and good people in general. I'm speaking about the black cop and the white cop. You can't find one good one. Why? Because if you would not arrest a crooked cop as a police officer, you are crooked too. You're aiding and abetting. How many times have brothers and sisters was just taking a ride? The car get pulled over. Everybody goes to jail. You don't know what a person have in their vehicle when you get in their vehicle. You don't know what they have in their vehicle. But if their vehicle was pulled over and it's drugs, any type of contraband in that vehicle, everybody goes to jail. Yet, police officers want us to believe that they are good people when they allow crimes to be committed by their rank and file. Now, back to the movie. After receiving no justice from the criminal justice system, Lincoln Jefferson and a few of his family members, Maury Hardwick played a family member of Lincoln Jefferson. They kidnapped the black police captain and they took over the police department. It took it over. About, a dozen or so police officers, and they had trial for the cop that killed Lincoln Jefferson's son, the cop that killed Kajani Jefferson. They took Michael Randall, the police officer who killed Kajani, into a interrogation room and questioned him and let him know it's about to be a trial. There was miscarriage of justice and the so-called justice system trial. So we're going to have a trial here at the police station. They had some regular citizens who were there paying tickets or what have you. They had prisoners there, and they had employees, civilian employees that worked at the station. Now, then the brother wife's call, Lincoln Jefferson's wife called, telling him to stop, telling him it's not worth it, asking him what he's doing, telling him to stop what he's doing. And then she said, violence is not the answer. That's our problem. What is the answer to someone who is violent towards you? I don't like the sentiment that we have to wait until we go to court in order to fight back. Because sometimes we don't even get to fight back because they murder us. We should stop that. We should stop loving ourselves more than they hate us. Because when a traffic stop ends up with someone being shot, unarmed people being shot, the police officers are always saying that they fear for their life. Who are dying more, the civilians or the cops? The civilians are. So why are the police officers so scared? Now, we need to understand, when we say umkulumkulu, when we start talking about the spirit of Ogun and our ancestors speaking to us, we need to understand that these wicked bastards have ancestors also that are speaking to them. And what is their legacy? Murdering us. So we need to understand that. That is their nature, to be wicked murderers of black people and even them own selves. Now, my sentiment is the same as Lincoln Jefferson's. Why are black people the victim of so much violence and expected to be nonviolent to those who are violent towards us? We seen on January 6, 2021, we've seen it for our very eyes, that the police can restrain themselves. They have restraint. We saw it. You had hundreds of people storming and breaching a Capitol building in Washington, D.C., and the police aided and abetted. Not only did they show restraint towards those criminals, those wicked criminals, insurrectionists, those terrorists, those domestic terrorists who actually had bombs in Washington, D.C., planning to do harm to legislatures, congressmen, and senators. Yet, they exercise zero restraint when it comes to black people. And when are we going to get it in our heads that we need to stop being nonviolent with those who are violent with us? Self-defense is a natural right. It's a right no one can give to you and certainly cannot take from you. They even brought bombs to the Capitol building. Every profession in America was represented in that insurrection. Everyone, clergymen, police, doctors, teachers, you name it, they were there storming the Capitol building. Just take a look at the arrest that the FBI are making and the Secret Service are making. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told us that we need to start being a nervous system within ourselves, within our people. When one of us are harmed or murdered, we should all feel it like a nervous system. If someone step on a brother or sister's foot, we all should yell, ouch. That's how we should be. We should not only feel sympathy, we should feel empathy. If someone step on your foot, we all say, ouch. We should all feel each other's pain and react to it. Not just feel it, react. Just like others are. We do not behave in a violent manner even when we are protesting or demonstrating against someone who has just murdered one of us. In fact, the ignorant among us will suggest to us that we forgive the person who have murdered our loved one. We forgive people who are not even sorry for what they've done. They haven't even recognized wrongdoing, and we forgive them. To me, that's a sickness. That is a virus. That's a pandemic that we need an antidote, a vaccine for. Anyone who allows someone to murder a loved one and you offer them love, you are sick. That is not godly. Don't put that on God, because God punishes, and God is going to punish. God punishes. There's no pious God who doesn't make people pay for what they have done. And I spoke to a brother of mine, Ibrahim Pasha Muhammad, and he said something that was so profound and significant. He said the reason why the world is not being destroyed and the enemy of God is not being destroyed because innocent people are in the way. That's us. And as I said before, and a few other brothers of mine have said before, why do we constantly jump in front of the gun that is pointed at our enemy? Why do we jump in front of that gun? I don't mean a literal gun, but why, even if it is literal, why do we jump in front of that gun? And put ourselves in the crossfire of our enemy. That's a sickness. It's a sickness to know that a man and a woman that is in the White House now are racist. And black people went out in droves to make sure they was elected because they just wanted to get rid of another racist. Why not refrain from being an accessory to a crime against your people. Our so-called American skin is our sin. And those of us who want to call themselves anybody besides a black man or woman, good luck. While you are trying to distinguish yourself from other black men, women, and children, our enemy is not going to do that. Our skin is our sin. They will not distinguish us one from another. And your skin is enough for them to murder you. We need to get that in our heads and keep it in our heads. And we need to get on code. One accord. One people, one accord. And become a nervous system. We have nothing to lose but our chains. I see that our people are waking up. And that's the problem. We don't realize that we are the underlying, the literal reason why our enemy is behaving the way they behave. When a person knows that their time is up, when a person knows that their world is coming to an end, they act in desperation. And that is what we see. For them, for the President of the United States to order an insurrection, to cause an insurrection, to cause people to fight, to commit sedition, treason against the president. And they tell us to comply when we're unjustly stopped, frisked, and arrested. But these same people can run up to the Capitol building and the police show them around. The police open up barricades. The police make it so they could go that deep into the Capitol building and look for Nancy Pelosi, Vice President Mike Pence, stealing laptops. One of those devils had wire ties with him because they were going to take people captive. And again, they have bombs. But when white people pull us over, they're afraid. They should be afraid of themselves. They also should be afraid of the wrath Allah gonna bring down on them for the mistreatment of black men, women, and children. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.